say love. Everybody say unity. We are one collective family in here tonight, and that's what I want to set the tone for. This ain't even a song right here. This is just my starting tempo of the show. So look around, look at everybody, realize that we all here together tonight. Ain't no bullshit, no drama going on, which I haven't seen all night. I'm just saying, I don't want to see that at all. I just want to see love. You know what I'm saying? So meet somebody you haven't met yet, shake a hand, get to know each other, because we're about to be working together on this next 15 to 20 minutes of this experience that I'm trying to create for y'all, all right? Are we ready? Yeah!
Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to Yellow Cake Radio. This is Marge, and today we have...
New
everything, right?
New everything.
All right, well definitely thank you for coming on to the show. Happy to have you.
Thank you.
Been seeing what you're doing with yourself, transitioning, and I heard that you recently changed your name, right? What was the name prior to New?
The name prior to New was Champ NASA.
Champ NASA. And what made you want to change this?
It was this trip I took recently. I went out to Oahu, Hawaii for 6 months. It's like getaway, pilgrimage, sabbatical, just spiritual reset, re-cleansing, I guess you could say. Recentering of the self. And I changed my name. I was already planning on changing my name for like a while, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted that to be. And I wanted it to be a representation of like how I felt, I think, and I wanted to give myself my name, because Champ NASA was the name I was giving by someone else. So it was like, all right, this is how I feel for myself, and I picked New.
I see. Wow. And what happened on your trip to Hawaii?
Man.
Must have been experience.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just start from the beginning. I left the city in like August of 2016, and I actually went home for a month back to Virginia, tapped in with my family, let them know, I'm about to do this, doing this thing. So I felt like I had to go back to the homeland before I made this trek and have that grounding. And did that, got to Hawaii by the end of August. Was jumping from hostel to hostel for like a month, couches here and there. I met a really dope, collection of folks out there that just housed me and put me on with people, got me a job, got my job, and through my job I got a place. The lease was for 6 months. It's all right, I'm about to be in Hawaii for the next 6 months, sign the line, and through that, the experience began. A lot of trips, a lot of journeys, a lot of hikes. A lot of just walking around and talking to myself, honestly, and really getting to know myself on a level of okay, you pick this name New, now who is that? What do you want to make that,
New views, new experiences, and you spell it with a U too, so it's getting to know you outside of the ego or outside of what is given to you, creating your own. I get it, wow. And with the messages that in your music, I was listening to the album Products of Brotherhood.
Right on.
Love that one.
Shout out to Hilo.
Yeah, the producer, Hilo, definitely fire. That one. That was good. I love how he infuses old school hip hop, and he adds a sound that's more almost futuristic, in a bit, and infusing the two worlds here on this earth.
Right.
But I want to get to know you as an artist a little bit more. And I noticed that you're doing the People's Tree too. What made you do this, or what path is this collective going towards?
Right now, I feel like we're all in a space of really figuring out what we want as individuals. We made this project and we did that together, and now it's it feels like a time where everyone is we're focused on the collective, but also realizing like the need for like self-growth in a sense, and like having that like grounding, I would say. So in that sense, I say we're just building on like making music when we can, and like trying to build together like outside of music, and like just trying to build, really, I would say. That's what I would say.
Wow, building and starting with the foundation of yourself,
Yeah, the base.
finding out who you are. And I know that you came from the East Coast, right?
Yeah,
Virginia?
Virginia.
Coming to the Bay Area, man, how was that? How was that journey?
It was a smooth transition, I would say. I felt like I was home. You know, like I really felt that. Yeah, that's how I would explain it. It's like it didn't feel weird, you know. Maybe for the first month I was like, oh, should I be here? And then I went back home and I was like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be here. Like, home's not where it's at right now. Like, this is home now. And then from there, I just kept moving. Most people that I would meet, like, when I told them I was from Virginia, they were like, for real, I would have guessed you were from out here. So, like, you know, hearing that from certain people was like, okay, like, I'm definitely in a space where I can be myself.
The soul knows. And so your soul found this. Wow. And then, are you planning to go anywhere else anytime soon?
I think the next thing for me is going back home.
Virginia.
Yeah, and like touching base with, you know, my mother and my father. Strengthening those relationships, just family relationships. Because like being so far away, it's really hard, especially with the time difference, to like, you know, you can always do better, but I do my best, but it's like being on top of, okay, they're like 4 or 5 hours, ahead of me, you know, so it's like, this is like later than it is here now, so I gotta be on top of this, and like, no, I gotta hit them up by a certain time or they're already asleep. You know, and when you're out here living your life or like doing your thing, you're not really thinking about that. When it comes across like, oh, I need to call grandma. It's like, oh, grandma's asleep right now. You can't really call her when you actually think about it. So it's like going home to family is like the next move, just to go touch bases and have that face to face.
With your roots too.
Yes.
Grandma made the mom who made you and all these.
That's right. You gotta touch base.
Wow, shout out to the moms and dads out there. But growing up, like, how do your parents feel about you, your music, your art?
So, I feel like growing up, it was, I was with my mom, I was with my dad in like separate aspects. So it was like two different point of views on the music. My dad wasn't much of a hip hop fan. You know, my mom like understood. She never really like pushed me away from anything. Like anything I tried to do, she supported it. Whether it was like my phase with like skateboarding, extreme sports, to music, to drumming, anything that I wanted to do. She never really told me don't do it. She just, you know, let me do it. And if I didn't like it, she didn't like make me keep doing it. She was just like, all right, cool, you tried it, whatever. My dad was more in the aspect of like, you know, just discipline. Like, you know, if you're gonna start something, finish it. You know, so he would be the one that would be like, you know, you started this, you need to keep going through with it, and things like that. But as far as like supporting me with the music, like, and when it came to hip hop and rapping, he wasn't really about it. But I was like in the band as a kid, so he was cool with that. You know, like I played percussion and stuff like that, things of that nature. So, you know.
Wow, okay, so you grew up with the discipline, you grew up with the support, but when did you find hip-hop? I noticed that you put an ode to hip-hop in one of your tracks.
Oh, yeah. Old Feelings.
Yeah,
that was a good one. Hip-hop been a part of my life since I was like 5 years old, like to be real. My brothers, I got 2 older brothers on my mom's side, or through my mom, and they were probably like 16 when I was born and had been living in New York prior to me being born. So they were in New York like when hip hop was cracking off. Like it, you know, it was really like, yeah, I guess you could say that golden era was happening, and then it was going into that mode because I was born in the 90s. So around the point when I was really listening to hip hop, like 94, 95, there's a lot of good music that was out that they was listening to.
True.
So they babysit me all the time. What else am I going to hear?
You're blasting in.
Exactly. So I got put on to a lot of artists at a young age, like Wu-Tang, Talib Kweli, Hot Tech, Big L. My first tape I ever had for my Walkman was Big L's The Big Picture, and I was probably like 6 or 7 or something.
Dope.
You know, so it was never like something. Even as a young kid, it was like, oh, I'm gonna be a rapper. It was just like I just like that music, and it like spoke to me, I guess, on that level of being just surrounded by it.
Right, and bring like that beat, that music to your heart and to your soul.
Exactly.
You said you did percussions too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So like I guess, you know, you break that down to like learning patterns or like, you know, rhyme schemes or like how to hit fill in the pockets. It's like, you know, I think about it in a drummer's mind state probably.
Oh.
Now that I look back at it, you know, I just like had that revelation in my head. But, yeah.
Wow, that's sick. So you have this voice as your medium, and you also have like this rhythm as your medium. Oh my goodness. And with the messages that you're putting out there into the world, what's something that you feel your listeners need to hear?
I can't say what they need to hear. I could say what I need. I could say what I feel like I need to say.
Ooh.
Right?
What you feel like you need to say.
Like I'm at this space, I know, like, to give a little, I guess, backstory on the why I would word it like that. It's like there definitely used to be a point, like, when I got to my spirituality, where I'm gonna keep it real, like, I felt like, when you get something new, you're just like, oh, you wanna share it with everybody, and you wanna be like, yo, this is the way to go. Do this, because it's working for you, and it comes from a space of, where it's not intentional, but it's definitely like ego behind it, because it's like, oh, well, I'm doing this now, and I'm excelling in these ways for myself, so you should do it too. You know, so I don't, now, like, that's the whole part of being new, and trying to be new is like realizing that I gotta do what works for me, and like share that, and let that inspire people to find what works for them.
Wow. So like through working on your own therapy, then other people can work on theirs.
Yeah. That's what New's about. New's about, I'm just working on myself. I'm not doing it for anyone but myself. At the end of the day, when you create something, it's like to heal yourself. And then it resonates with whoever's supposed to hear it. So I'd rather my message, I'd rather it be like that, like me just practice healing myself and figuring out what I'm trying to do. And then through that, it'll touch whoever's supposed to.
Wow, I dig that. I really dig that. Healing. That's what hip hop, you know, is stemming from. And oh my goodness, I noticed in one of your tracks you're talking about the scars, and I think there was a woman on the track as well. What do you feel are some inner wounds or some healing that needs to be done, or what's like next, or is it just growth now?
For myself? Okay. I think now, for me, is like, I mean, every day you're uncovering things, because the more you get to know yourself and you really pay attention to like what you want in your life and what you don't want in your life, you start realizing like why these things trigger you in a certain way. And you'll start to like look into your past and be like, okay, because you'll realize like if somebody does something to bug you, it's not necessarily them. You really got to look at yourself. And when you look at yourself, you look at your past, you'll be like, oh, okay, that's why that happened. So once you reflect on that, it's like, okay, I don't have to react this way anymore. And with that being said, I think now it's like I know my triggers, and you know, for the most part, so it's just a matter of like fine-tuning that and taking the time for self to just be like, all right, it's time to go in. Like that's where I'm at. It's like I want to spend the next year focused on, you know, not even focused on creating or making music, of creating new. Like, new's the name I go by, but I don't feel like I'm actually the manifestation of that yet.
Not
But
yet.
that's me creating and speaking into existence the being I want to be. That's why it's new being. That's what the being represents. Yeah.
My goodness. And wow, you touched on something like you said, man, if there's something that triggers you, it's something that you need to look into with yourself. And so it sounds like inner peace is like definitely something that's in your future.
Yeah. Even now, I won't say I have it 100%, but I definitely know myself on a level to like be able to approach myself or like be open to like my insecurities and not run from them and really face them, and so I can go on with enjoying my life. Yeah. And that's what Hawaii was about, was like finding that inner peace. Or not even finding it, because I already had it, I feel like, when I came to the city, but being in the city and the fast-pacedness of it and things like that, coming from the country. Like, that's where I'm from, in Virginia. I'm from a very country area. So I grew up with that, rooted in that type of vibration. And then you come to the city and your vibration speeds up. So then, exactly. So when I got the opportunity where I could balance, it's like, all right, I know who I was when I came out here. Let's get back to that, but with a new perspective, with more years on my life, with more experience, and regaining that peace, but with a new, with more knowledge, and then more understanding.
More understanding, more knowledge, more wisdom. Oh my goodness. And if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I just turned 27 last Saturday, actually.
Well, happy belated.
Thank you.
A little Tauranian earth sign.
Yes.
Keeping it grounded and everything.
For sure.
I see, I definitely feel it in your energy that you're all about creating like that foundation for yourself and who you are, digging deep, so you could create and manifest what you really want. My goodness. So, yeah, what's something that you really want to accomplish moving forward?
I want to create something musically. Like, I want to have that project for myself, like that affirmation of like starting something and finishing it. Because for the past few years, I've just been making a lot of music, and then it just like, a lot of it's just like gone. Old computers, old files, just stuff that I made and never did anything with, because I hadn't reached that level within myself of authenticity to even put out, to even like really embrace what I was like speaking, like not being secure in what I was creating. So now that I've found this like level of security, or like I'm aiming towards that, I haven't found it completely yet, but I just want to create a project that touches people. Something that really makes a change in the mind state of whoever listens to it. And that I reach a change within myself through creating. That's what I'm aiming for. But before that comes the groundwork, which is just working on myself. And like not being in a rush to do it at all. Jay-Z, I think, was 28 when he dropped Reasonable Doubt, which is like one of the most classic albums ever. Produced 28. And I think like we're in a society where there's so much going on and so much is at our disposal so fast, and we can just get it. It's like we feel like a need to put out, but it's like I'm more reserving my energy and saving it for when it's time to like throw that out. So it's authentic.
Exactly.
So I guess that's like the next musical goal. But like the main goal is like the next year I just want to spend like working on myself.
Yeah, put into you, and then through that, then abundance will flow out through your medium, through your music.
Right.
My goodness, I could feel it. I can really feel it.
Right on.
Yeah. This is real. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this, and you're 27. Self-actualization. That's a big one as an artist. You know, healing, confidence. That's key too. And wow. New being. New being. And if you're able to create something brand new within yourself, or even just shed lies that wasn't true to you, imagine what else you could do with the rest of the world.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like I guess that's why I want to create that for myself, is that I want to create something that like I touch on a depth within myself that like not forces anybody, but if they feel it and they resonate with it, then they'll be inspired to be like, it isn't even like, they don't have to make a music or anything, but they'll just be like, yo, like, okay, like I feel that. Or like I've always thought that, like, but I couldn't put it into words.
Yes.
You know, like being able to do something, like I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do.
And then once you wake up, then someone else will wake up from it too. This is stuff people don't really talk about.
Yeah.
My goodness, not in music, but dang, that's
Whatever wake up means, like, I don't know. That's an interesting, like, thing to say. I try to be very. Something I'm working on is like being very
mindful.
Thank you. Mindful.
I can read mine sometimes. yeah.
Mindful of like what I'm saying or how I'm saying it, because like to say, like for me to say to wake people up is like for me to say that they're asleep, but like I can't say that. I can't say that I'm awake, because what is awake? You know what I'm saying? It's just like I'll say an awareness with myself that
That's
they could
what-
find.
that's what it is.
Yeah, they could find that awareness within themselves to be like, okay, what do I like? What like whatever it is for them, like just to find that their representation of what I've created for myself. That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh my, yes, that's the word. Awareness of self. I get it. Wow. Cool. Well, definitely thank you so much for sharing this part of you,
Yeah,
this
right on.
new part of you, and definitely looking forward to what's to come.
Right on.
And I believe that there's perfect timing for everything, you know. But yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, my
Peace.
pleasure.
Right on.
Alrighty, guys, thank you for tuning in. Again, thank you for tuning into Yellow Cake Radio. I'm Marge.
I'm new.
Alrighty, guys, peace.
Peace.
Wow.